So I suppose since I am by myself in the temple, I'll go in the back room where it's like the little chapel, I guess. I'll I don't have any really sort of symbol, so I'll just put my shield up in one place. I'll get out my stuff, some incense and such, and just light it, do a couple of prayers, and then I guess I will ask. I only have one question. So Laja is going to say, I don't think that I should have this. What should I do to get rid of it?
So you're waiting for your reply and you get an image. And it's a series of images. You see a dark haired man with glowing green eyes and he's running across the ice. And he's chased by a dark bird. It's like a giant owl that finally catches him. But once it catches him, he's not altogether upset. And the feeling you get is that it is too late.
Okay. Um, so I guess I'll just sit for a little bit and then pack up all of my things, and I guess by that time I might hear some of the bells or shortly thereafter. So I will go and join the others.
Yeah, you hear the bells and you hear a lot of commotion outside. But moving us back to the hall, Rorgar, Guardian, Virian, was there anything that you all were going to do here? Rorgar kind of cut you off when you had just made a discovery about shoelace.
I don't.
Uh,
I didn't have anything else because I think that just confirmed what I thought about the druid.
Garn's actually gotta go over to that table.
As you go over to the table, Guardian, the others are still just kind of sitting at their table, not really paying attention to the sound of the bells.
I have a proposition for all of you.
Jera turns to you. She looks up. Huh?
We might have a fight that's gonna break out here soon. I'm not asking you to get involved directly if you don't wish to, but if you could keep an eye on the civilians and make sure they're safe. All I have to my existence is just 20 gold.
Two Mask looks up from his drink very slowly and he says, "Well, my friend, we're not really here to take sides in any conflict. We have our own ambitions, you know."
I understand that, but I'm not asking you to take a side, I'm just asking you to keep people safe.
And Orphat stands up, he pushes back his chair and he says, "Don't worry, my friend. I will protect everyone here. In this hall, you have nothing to fear."
Thank you, and if there's anything else I can do to help, please feel free to ask.
And Jera once again, ugh.
If the... You don't know this area too well, do you?
Orphat says, well, actually, that brings up my next question. In exchange for protecting the town, I ask only one thing. I am searching for an artifact, something that would be a clear token of my god, Muradin. Have you seen it? It would be probably a hammer or something shaped like a hammer.
I've seen a bunch of hammers. I even have a hammer too.
This would be
Both.
very special.
You could try Battle Hammer Hold.
Actually, I intend to. I've heard that it's fallen into a bad place. I intend to reclaim the old Dwarven kingdom, in fact.
Well, he's gonna have an easy time in there. We killed off a bunch of creatures in there, and the Mad King.
Your friend
Man.
Laja, I have been meaning to catch up with them, but they seem rather elusive. Would they have any clues as to any artifacts from the Dwarven Kingdom? You said you just came from there.
A while ago. Maybe you'll have to ask her yourself.
Muradin has directed me to find a sacred relic, which I believe will help me in the restoration of Battle Hammerhold to the Dwarven people.
And your friend over there, and he points to the bar, like, is he looking for a magical loot?
Two Mask looks up slowly and he says, I think with enough gold, he'll do just about anything you want.
I'm just assuming you're all on some adventure and personal quest. That's why you're up here.
Two Mask continues, that's about it, yeah.
What's your personal quest?
I've been called, I am a druid of the forest. Sylvanas has directed me to this wasteland. I am looking for a sacred place.
I can think of a few. Elf ruins with a hag witch in it.
That's probably not it. It would
Battle
be
Hammerhold.
sacred, solemn place. Most likely, when you were there, you would feel a sense of peace. Perhaps a place with animals. Sylvanas has directed me that this place has been cursed by the Frostbane, and from what I've seen, that's the case. No animals, no wildlife.
Little cave with a bunch of wyverns we killed, and that's how we got Suzanne. Cave with giants frozen inside of it. There's a cave with a bear. It's actually not too far from here.
A cave with a bear. Tell me more.
Big old grumpy bear. Reminds me of a Stovaker.
Lupin rubs his whiskers a bit. Can you tell me where this cave is?
Tell you what. You help keep the people safe, I'll take you there myself.
Maybe you should tell me where the cave is before you die.
He just stands there for a moment, like, I'll just say you're close. How about that? So if I do die, you don't have to go too far to look.
All right. And Horford says, don't worry, my friend. As I said, I will protect this hall from anyone who enters that has any ill will towards the inhabitants. They will face my hammer. And don't worry much. My companion Two Mask is not very good in a fight anyway.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Zach, let everyone know to come over here.
You notice that there are a number of villagers in like the corners of the hall that have nicer looking bows and arrows that look like they're actually capable of potentially like piercing armor, whereas before all the defenses that you've ever seen in Good Mead were quite pathetic.
Fancy. Alright. Well, I'm gonna get ready to talk to this person, Zach. I'll be outside whenever they decide to show up.
I think the only person I haven't asked about is Virian. What's Virian up to?
Virian is probably still just playing with the dog. He's a little obsessed with it. And that's about it.
I believe we said, Virian, that to you the dog looks like a terrier. So like a little terrier that's running around you. but you notice the rest of your companions leaving the hall, and you hear the bells ringing and everything, and it's getting quite serious in there. You notice some of the villagers are picking up the bows and arrows that you helped them craft and are taking position by the windows.
All right, I'm gonna pull the little terrier aside and just tell him, you get somewhere safe. I don't want anything happening to you, all right?
And Shoelace's tail's wagging really fast and actually kind of bounds off behind the bar towards the area where the bees are, actually.
Can I just follow her and just make sure she's gonna be somewhere that's not gonna, be dangerous for her or anything? I just want to assess the situation, do a risk assessment for it very quickly.
So Shoelace is mostly just nosing around the bees. He's very interested in the sound I guess the bees are making, which is in the back of the mead hall. There are the huge like containers, the big honeycombs that have the bees inside them. They kind of have them caged, but they are really kind of behind the bar. They're the source of the constant droning that you hear, the sound of the bees.
All right, you be good here then. And then I'll go and follow Guardian and Rorgar out of the tavern.
So you all kind of come together around the same time. Laja, as you walk outside of the temple, and the rest of you as you leave the mead hall, you see the streets of Good Mead have been kind of abandoned. And remember, this is the morning on the night before the Curse of the Frost Maiden. And really all around you, you see a series of humans. They're pretty much all humans. And they're being led kind of down the street, the main quarter street, as the elf woman that you saw before outside of town, who identified herself as Captain Jalissa. But these large tokens are not like big humans. It's just a group of humans. There's about 5 in each one of these large tokens. This is just a way to represent them. And then behind them, you notice there are guys. It's really hard to tell what their species is, but they're cloaked in red robes. But they all have their weapons drawn. Some have crossbows, and they're advancing toward the mead hall.
Weapons drawn, huh? Well, Garn's gonna have his maul out then. And a chain ready. Is this wait for... Is she getting closer?
She's walking down the street, so she's kind of like coming this way.
Hopefully you guys figured out what we were going to do.
We were going to tell them no, very politely. And if that's not sufficient, we will be persuasive.
Gillis advances. You notice she has a long sword drawn, and then she's carrying a shield. And she stops a good distance away from all of you, and she raises her voice, and she says, "The time is now. We've come for the sacrifice from Good Mead."
I've been informed that no law or tribute or tradition exists between the 10 towns where another town can make a demand of another. Your town has already been helped sufficiently with the Shardland Dragon being defeated. By us.
She smiles and she says, Things change, as you may well know. Bryn Shandar suffered heavily to take down the dragon, and it is by the shield of Bryn Shandar that the rest of the towns are protected. It seems reasonable to ask the other towns to assist, which is why I'm here. But enough of that. I gave you time to select a sacrifice from this town, but considering that you have missed the deadline, I am under the authority to pick a sacrifice, and I have chosen Zakon's Stag.
I'm gonna clarify something. You didn't give us time to select a sacrifice, you gave us time to make a decision.
The decision is who will take or who will be the sacrifice from this town. So I give you a choice. Give me a sacrifice, or I will take Zach Onstad.
And is this the command of the speaker of Bryn Shandar?
This is the command of Speaker Shane, yes.
Really? Is there an edict? Something with her signature?
She says, I think I may have that right here. And she takes her shield hand and she pulls something from her belt. It's like a piece of parchment, and she throws it like right there.
Right where? Sorry, I didn't see it.
Sort of like right there. So between the two groups.
Well, I'll walk towards it and grab it.
And you never saw anything, I'm assuming you're reading it, you never saw anything that Speaker Shane wrote, so you have no way of comparing it to her actual handwriting. But there is a decree that says, based on the amount of damage that Bryn Shandar sustained, they're unable to provide a sacrifice to the Frostbane, so they need the other towns to sort of help them out. And at the bottom, it does have the seal of the speaker.
Guardian, does that document specify that this sacrifice has to be a person? Or is it just say sacrifice? Because I could give 10 gold right now.
Yeah, look it over. Does it specifically say a human sacrifice?
It doesn't.
You have a good point. And he'll look back to the captain like, it doesn't specify anything about a living sacrifice.
She says, well, how about this? I'll take Zach, and I'll take your gold. We'll put it outside the town, and whichever the Frostmaiden takes, you can have the other.
I have a alternate proposal for you, Captain. We actually know where the Frost Maiden lives. And maybe if we took all your guards and you came with us, we would have a better chance of killing this Frost Maiden. Instead of wasting our time with this sacrifice nonsense.
Some of the guards off to the side start to laugh, and Jalissa smiles a bit. Yes, it's no secret where the Frost Maiden lives. She is a goddess of winter.
How many times have any of you dared to stare at her? Because all of us have looked on her and lived.
That explains the insanity.
Don't know about you, but I think sacrificing people is rather insane.
She says, one sacrifice for the well-being of an entire town seems like a small price to pay.
I guess I really only have one question, and that is, why can't Bryn Shandar decide to sacrifice something different?
She says, it's not up to us, it's up to the Frostmaiden. She sighs, I'm running out of my patience.
I didn't realize the Frost Maiden came door to door offering sacrifice options. Hello, Good Mead. Would you like to sacrifice people or heat? Pick one of the two, because Bryn Shandar's going to get the last option. Let me guess. She wore a nice outfit and a dapper suitcase was with her.
And she says, if you are so brave, you are welcome to take the place of Zach and become this town's sacrifice.
Why don't you become your own town sacrifice if apparently they need someone? I'm sure you have citizens there willing to sacrifice themselves.
She smiles. I have other duties.
Oh, so you're more important than the Frost Maiden's demands.
I serve in my own way.
Well, then you should serve as a nice offering.
She says, some of us let's see, some of us choose to serve our people, like myself, and some of us, like you, just are pawns, I would say, of the higher powers of town, of places like Bryn Shandar. I know my place.
Yes, you know your place as an obedient dog at the table waiting for scraps to be fed.
And she laughs and she says, "So the time of talking is over. Present one of yourselves as a sacrifice, or I will take Zack by force. And I promise,
I'm-
when I leave this town, it will be in a
I'm
far
raging.
worse condition."
I'm raging, and I'm closing
Yes.
the distance with a charge with a maul strike.
Let's roll some initiative.
Ooh, 14. 14, that's not bad, but I get the advantage. Why is there an 18 Guardian and a 14 Guardian now?
Well, shoot, I didn't clear initiative.
It's a good thing I get advantage.
All right, it looks like some of the guards will go first. So remember, these guards are groups of 5.
Wow, she has a 3? She talked so much shit.
So a group of 5 guards move up from the back, and with a crossbow, they take an aim at you, Laja. Let's see, with a 5, I'm sure that's a miss. And
Maybe just a little.
yeah, how about a 14?
No.
So 2 crossbow bolts fly past you, Laja. Takes us to you, Guardian.
Yeah, closing the distance. You know what? She shall burn for her insolence. Infernal chain. Should I do it reckless? Should I do it reckless, guys? I'm kind of surrounded up top there.
There's a lot of guards right there.
Yeah, okay. No reckless.
I'm going to be honest with you, though. It's going to be very easy for them to get advantage. They can flank you very easily. So reckless, what more are you giving them, really?
Yeah, you know what? You make a good point. I'm raging. I don't... Bloodlust.
A 13, unfortunately, will not hit.
That's okay. I can attack again.
13 again will not hit.
You know what? Just because. There. Would I roll again with advantage, or is it just one roll?
I think that would be one roll, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
There
20
we go.
will hit. Yeah, 20 this time does hit. See, 10 total damage. So are you going to try to grapple her?
Yeah, so how's that work again?
You do an opposing strength athletics check with her. She can do dex acrobatics, which I think in her case she'd probably do a strength check to see if you've actually grappled her. Remember,
yeah.
if she's grappled, you can't use the chain anymore, though. You're just like attached to her.
That's fine. Alright, I'll try and grapple here with the athletics. I just want to check something.
She rolls.
I
a
have
19.
advantage on strength checks. Saving. So
She rolled a 19.
I rolled a 22.
22. She's grappled, which also means the next round she'll take that fire damage from the chain.
Good, good. Well, that's my turn.
I don't think the rest of us got added to the turn order there.
Oh, true. We got cleared.
Oh no. I think that would have Rorgar next. Yeah, let me add you, Rorgar. Cool. Okay, I think that looks right. So the next group of guards, they move up towards you, Guardian. I think they're going to move up to this space, so they're totally flanking you and the captain. And let's see, they're going to attack you with a row of spears. They drop into a strong like phalanx position and attack you with their spears twice.
All right.
How's an 18?
Oh yeah.
And a 17.
Yep.
So that's 11 total. Well, it's 22 total piercing.
22. There we go.
And
I love rage.
I think that takes us to Rorgar.
Okay, Rorgar is going to charge past. Oh, do I go for the guards or do I go for the captain? Rorgar is going to charge past the guards to here. And then make 2 attacks with his battle axe against this captain.
Okay.
But first he's going to use as a bonus action his Vow of Enmity. Which means for the next 10 minutes, Rorgar will get advantage on every attack against the captain. So attack number 1.
A26 will certainly hit.
And on this one, as Rorgar's blade sweeps across, attacking the captain, a bright shining light arcs off the blade, and I'll use a second level Divine Smite. The Discord chat popping up is preventing me from clicking. So that's the normal damage plus 3d8 radiant.
Okay, so 8 slashing and 8 radiant. Is that right?
Yeah, 16 total.
She raises her shield as you strike, and there's a blinding flash as you release that radiant attack upon her, and she kind of steps back. You could tell she was trying to withdraw, but she can't because she has Guardian's chain sort of wrapped around her shield arm.
And there's the second attack.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And this time, it's again a bright, blinding flash of light as I'll use a first level Divine Smite.
Wow. Okay.
So 21 total damage.
I'll say this time as you strike her shield, it cracks and splits in two.
That's out of character. That's interesting.
That's a whole lot of damage.
Oh, is it just from the damage? Okay, I was thinking like oh, she's like a demon or something, and her armor's getting messed up from all the holy damage. Like,
You all have reached the point in your character's progression that, when you all focus on something, you're going to destroy it. And that's just what you're doing. Like these folks, you don't know their whole story yet, but they just seem to be ordinary people. So I'm going to try to illustrate this fight to show that a little bit.
No, I'm just focusing on the captain. These guys are giving me a nice back scratch.
And as Rogar finishes his second strike and waits for the return attack, he shouts, Captain, you have the power to end this. Tell your men to stand down.
More of the guards rush towards Virian and Laja, and with their spears, because they have 10 feet reach, they attack at you, Virian. At 10 and 17.
17 will hit.
That's 11 piercing.
Okay.
Oh, and I think Virian rolled a 10 for initiative, but he's not in the track there at the right spot.
Oh,
Thank
right.
you. There we go. Thank you. But that takes us to Laja.
Okay, I will move here, and then I'm gonna use. This is always prepped. I just have never used it. I'm going to use Burning Hands, and that's gonna be a DC 15 Dexterity save from. Would I be able to reach both the guards, or just one set of guards? Whatever works.
I think you could. Yeah, I think you could get all of them. Yeah.
I'm trying not to overload one person with a burst of fire. You spread it out.
I think you could get them. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Oh, I'd have to do a save. Oops. I missed that. Let's
Oh,
see.
that's okay.
Both groups fail, so they both take 8 fire damage.
Yep. And I think for right now, I don't want to get an attack of opportunity, so I'll stay right here.
Virian, you see Laja, they cast forth their fire, and the fire is like a big wave of flame that engulfs both groups of guards. So there's 10 of them. Let's see the damage that they did on each group. One of the guards goes down, just totally engulfed in flame, as the others kind of look down at their compatriots that are just burning, and they step around them and try to hold their formations.
Right.
And was that it for Laja?
Yep, that's it.
All right, Virian.
So Virian's gonna make a move closer to the guards here and make an attack with the Moonblade.
22 will certainly hit.
So 5 damage for that one, assuming they're not a group of undead people. And take another swing with that Moonblade again.
A 14 will not hit.
All right. And Virian knows it's coming because the sword attack did hit. So the penguins have to come out, and they'll do 5 damage. And as they kind of burst out of the ground and start attacking these guards, Virion remembers that this happens, and he starts welling up a little bit.
But in Virion's attack, you manage to isolate one of the guards, and in your sword swing, you actually just run him completely through, while your penguins attack one of the other guardsmen. So there's, in that particular formation, there's about 3 guards left.
All right. Good job, boys.
And after taking bites out of one of the guards, the 3 penguins kind of look to you and then vanish, going where we don't know. Where did the penguins go?
You just hear faintly, had a family.
Little do we know, the goal of this campaign is not to kill the Frost Maiden, it's to find out where the penguins go.
That is
What
we all need
if
to know.
the GM is evil and we have to fight the penguins that you've been changing because they're protecting the Frost Maiden?
Don't give him ideas.
I had a plan, but your plan is so much better. Guardian, thank you. It's so much better.
Yes.
So let's see. Moving on to one of the guards, one of the rope guards here. See, this guy is pretty far away. He takes a step forward, stretches out his hand, and begins to cast a spell. And he casts the spell on you, Virion. If you can make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Oh, good.
Oh dear. The saving throw that you have made means you are, for just a temporary moment, you've lost control of your hands. The command that just enters your mind that you can't control tells you to drop your sword, and that's what you do. Drop your sword, the moonblade falls to the ground. And you can't pick it up until the start of your next turn.
Okay.
And that moves us on to the next guard here, the second one that's wearing the red robes. He kind of waves his hand in the air, says some sort of magical phrase, and it looks like some of the scratches and bruises that Captain Jalisa has seem to go away, and she seems a little more confident, a little stronger. And then he continues casting, and a small bluish blade appears in the air next to you, Rogar. Let's see. The sword takes a swing at you.
I ain't afraid no ghosts.
How's a 15?
No, sir.
Now the sword just swings in the air past you, but it's a opaque sword. You can see, partly through it, but it looks like it's definitely magical, floating in the air in front of you.
Maybe spiritual?
Could be spiritual. Could be a spiritual weapon. Yeah. But taking us back to Captain Jalissa.
Mm-hmm.
But to you, Rogar, you taunted her before and said that this is something she could end, and she yells to her guards, "Hold your ground! Fight for Bryn Shandar!"
Does she take the damage now?
I'm sorry?
Fire damage?
Oh,
Is it on her turn or is it my turn?
I'll have to look it up. I think it's on her turn. Let me see. At the start of its turn, the creature grappled takes 2d8 fire damage. Yeah, so roll me some fire damage, please.
10, because rage doesn't count.
So what happens is the chain wrapped around her arm continues to smolder, and actually her left arm, which was holding her shield before, just catches on fire. Like perhaps the padding or clothing underneath is just ignited, and she screams as her arm burns.
Yes, you're holding on very well. In response to her statement.
And she takes a wild few swings with her long sword at you, Orgar. Which I will say is an advantage because the spiritual weapon is flanking you. That's 2 hits for 28 slashing damage.
For how much? Sorry?
It's a 28 total slashing damage. Yeah, I'm using the character sheet from the Orc War Chief.
It's still coming up as public. That's the only reason why I know.
That's funny.
That sounds like a great insult to me personally.
I really wish that the Orc War Chief was back, but unfortunately, not like this.
No, I modified the sheet. I just didn't feel like changing the name. So the first round of guards, which are down here by you, Laja, they move in closer and come at you with their spears. 13. It's probably a miss.
Miss.
Which takes us to you, Guardian.
How do I just keep burning her?
Yeah, if you keep grappling her, yeah, you're gonna keep burning her.
Well, so I could do. You know what? I'll do a Great Club for one attack, and then I'll do the grapple for the second attack.
Don't think you do another attack with a grapple. You're just at the condition of grappled, and then as long as she doesn't break it, at the beginning of her turn, she'll keep taking the fire damage.
Okay. But I have 2 attack options, right?
Yeah, you could attack with the Great Club twice. Although,
Oh,
yeah, we never really worked out how you could use a two-handed weapon with the chain grappled at the same time.
Great Club's versatile, I believe, so I can do one-handed. Yeah. Okay. So if I can actually attack twice with the Great Club, and then what do I do afterwards? Do I just say I maintain the grapple?
Yeah. It's up to her to break the grapple.
Okay. Yeah. So Great Club across the head twice. Recklessly, because you know what? Why not? 17?
A 17 will hit.
Oof. And then here's the second Great Club.
A 15,
15
will not hit, though.
Now is that the? Okay.
Her AC is 16, which if a 17 hit,
damn.
15 didn't, it's obviously 16.
So she had to have like at least a 20 that was there, or a shield.
I'm not
Or
changing her AC
16,
because actually her shield was not factored into her AC. I just thematically said
Oh,
that she had
okay.
a shield.
I cut like the bottom part off of it.
I didn't give her an AC bonus for having it, so I was like, she loses it, sure.
Alright, well, I still got her at least once. Good old crack.
And the guards behind you, Guardian, attack you. They turn to you with their spears. They seem to have ignored the 5th guy that was burning on the ground that was dead. I'm not even going to ask you. They rolled so low. Apparently, they're unable to retain their formation, and they attack you, like the four of them together. But you very easily dodge, which is kind of funny because you have their captain on a chain. But perhaps just moving around, you're able to just avoid all of their spear thrusts. But it takes us to you, Rogar.
I think seeing this floating sword appear near him is not going to deter him from continuing to attack the captain. So Rorgar is just continuing to swing with not much care for his technique, just trying to hit as hard as he can over and over.
Yeah, 23 will do it.
I just want to get one critical so I can roll all the dice in the world. Come on.
All the dice.
I will use another first level Divine Smite.
Okay.
So 15 damage, 7 radiant included in there.
Okay. Yeah, 26 will do.
Sorry, I just realized I should be tracking the rounds here so I remember when my vow goes away. All right. And another first level Divine Smite. So 20 damage
20
total
damage.
on that one.
As you strike her over and over with your weapon, the axe, she's unable to. She doesn't really avoid much because she's still attached to Guardian and her arm is on fire. You just hack away at the poor woman and she falls to the ground. She starts to say something, but your second strike hits her, and she has an expression of perhaps surprise as she falls to the ground, her mangled, burning corpse as she dies.
Your captain is dead. Stand down. This fight is over.
And the guards all take a step back, very unsure of what to do, and they look to the robed guards that are behind or beside each of their formation. And one of the guards, the one that cast the sword that was by you, Rogar, he looks to you and he says, Bryn Shandar will remember this.
Tell them Rorgar is the one that slayed their captain. Send them after me.
And he motions to the rest of the guards, and they all kind of loosen their formations a bit, and he says, you may find that the fury of Bryn Shandar is far worse than anything the Frost Maiden could have done.
Here, I have a parting gift for you. And Rorgar is going to take his axe, slice the head off the captain, and throw it to the guard. Here is our sacrifice.
Rorgar has been around Guardian way too much.
Guardian nods in approval.
I forget what his pact is all the time. Oh man.
Rorgar's getting to a point where he's quickly reaching the same age as his body. He's just sick of this stuff.
I see you, Rorgar. I really do. But
Guardian, if he can speak.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll look to the guards, including the robed ones, are like, this outcome didn't have to happen. You could have accepted the aid that we had offered Bryn Shandar in the attack of the dragon and called it even. You pushed the issue. If you want to push further, fine. I'll respond in kind. But if you're tired of being under the boot in fear of the Frost Maiden and whatever your sheriff thinks he has as power, if you don't want to have to be fearful of being sacrificed to some witch, you're more than welcome to stay here. You will have to pull your own weight, but you don't have to be worried about being taken and burnt at some stake. I gave your captain plenty of opportunities to back down and pull back. And look what got her.
The guard you toss the head to, Rorgar, he kind of looks down at it with a disgusted look on his face, and he says, "No, I won't carry that. Bryn Shandar is not done yet with her."
Can you tell me which guard it was?
That one, the one that's closer to you.
So Rorgar is going to stomp right up to him. He's going to pick up the head and literally jam it into whatever bag or sack that guy has on him, and then walk away.
And he says, "I won't carry this." He says, "Captain, Bryn Shandar is not done with you." And he says he starts to cast a spell. And what happens is...
Oh, if he does that, I'm attacking him.
What happens is the corpse of the captain slowly rises from the ground, starts to shamble towards the guard itself. It's not making any moves to attack. It's dropped all of its weapons.
It's still chained to me. I assumed it's still chained to me. I haven't moved from its position where it
I'm
died.
going to say when it died, it probably released the grapple.
Okay.
You didn't tell me you wanted to burn the corpse. We haven't gotten that dark yet, so I'm going to assume that you released it.
It's Guardian. He likes crispy bacon.
Anyway, this guard has apparently risen. He's made her rise up as a zombie and is kind of making her walk headless, the corpse, back towards him.
Oh, I really want to just attack him for that.
So go look to the basic guards. Like, really? That's who you serve.
One of the guards looks to you and he says, "Well, the devil you know."
That's supposed to be justification. Right. Rogar, why did we save Bryn Shandar from being fucked by a dragon?
Because they were going to hurt all of the other towns. That's just where we caught it.
Yes, we should have waited for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
But then we wouldn't have had any ballista to help us. Anyway, that's off topic. I know what you're trying to say.
You're free to go back to your city and tell them the news. But make sure to tell them that you were all shit-kicked in quickly by a handful of people. Everyone else here is receiving the same training that we had. Think very carefully and very hard if you ever want to come back to Good Mead as an enemy.
And the zombie headless captain makes her way to the guard, the robed guard, and what he does is he hands her her head, and the zombie captain holds her head under like one of her non-burned arm and slowly begins to shamble away. As they're beginning to disperse, they kind of go back into the directions they came in. One of the guards stops outside of the temple, and he looks at it and he says, "How quaint. Temple of Lathander. Looks like it could maybe use some redecoration."
It's a work in progress.
And he turns to his guards and he says, "Why don't we help them with the work in progress? Let's help them with the progress part."
You lay a single hand on this temple, and you will suffer the same fate as your captain. This I guarantee.
As the speaker of Good Mead, I have extended you kindness that I'm going to be running out in a second. Leave now.
Guardian, why don't you give me a persuasion check? I'd say with advantage.
I'm on an intimidation check.
Oh, yeah, intimidation's better.
With advantage?
Yeah, with advantage.
Oh boy, a whopping 0 bonus. Oh boy! Anyone got an inspiration for this?
Yeah, you can have mine.
Woo!
Can I make the check? I'm also yelling.
Sure, go for it.
17.
Oh,
Right.
everybody's mad.
So the two of you taking very aggressive postures. I think at this point the guards kind of look at the two robed guards and quickly decide that they're all done. And they all begin to withdraw, which in case the robed guards give you all a dirty glance and also begin to leave Good Mead. But not harming the temple, walking away.
Safe travels. Its guardian tries to say that as nicely as possible. It's just completely covered in malice. He's hoping something attacks them.
So as they left kind of in a hurry, and they left the burned bodies of the guards that you had, killed before, Laja. And really just the blood-stained snow from where the captain was slain, but brought back up. That's the only thing that kind of remains from the battle.
Let's
Well,
be
we
better
should-
than them and bury these ones.
I was about to say we shouldn't leave these people in the middle of the street.
Agree. How many bodies, Jam? 2, 3?
Trying to remember. I think I said maybe 3 bodies behind.
Yeah. Guardian will pick him up. Pick him, drag him, kick him around. No, he'll pick him up. Hey, Varian.
Hey,
Guard ball.
guard ball.
No.
Not. I was partly serious.
Guard ball.
I think Rorgar's just going to angrily stomp away into the temple. Just because he's so frustrated with all of this. So he's just going to go there for a moment, just to cool off.
Alright, Laja, I'm going to need your help. I typically just cut the body from neck to crotch and then let the guts spill out for the wildlife to eat them.
I
These
feel
are...
like that's a bad plan in the middle of a town.
Oh, yes. But I'm talking about giving them what you would consider proper rights. So,
Yeah, I can definitely handle that.
where do you want me to take them?
Over to the temple, I think, is a good place to start.
Alright. And he lug all the bodies to the temple.
And I will take, let's see how long this will end up taking. Okay, so it'll take an hour per person plus 10 minutes. I will cast ceremony funeral on everybody. Give them their last rites.
So the 3 hours are good, but the 10 minutes are the most important part of this time schedule.
I know, 10 minutes each. That's another whole half hour.
Laja, as you're doing these services, I guess it's just out in the snow, or you're going to hold them in the temple?
I'll do it in the temple. It's not that much warmer in there, but, at least we're not actively being snowed on.
And as all this is going on, the villagers are starting to leave the houses again in Good Mead and continue what they were doing before, which is just getting ready for the long night of the Frost Maiden.
Just so you know where I'm after. So do you know where Guardian's after this here? Is he's going to go to the tavern, town hall.
Okay. I just put you all here in the temple because I imagine you all work together to get the bodies in there.
After
Yeah.
after the first 3 minutes of just being very angry, Rorgar can also help cast ceremony on the bodies.
And now that you've had some time to look at them, at least one of them looks like perhaps one of the guards that you remembered when you were fighting off the dragon in Bryn Shandar. Remember there was a division of guards that helped you like pull them down, pull the dragon down and all that. One of these guys you might have seen. It's hard to place them because you never talked to them, but maybe he was in the crowd or maybe he was one of the guards that helped you.
And as Rorgar is going through his this ceremonial rites, he's just muttering to himself like, "It's just every time we take a step forward here, it's 2 steps back. We cannot make any headway. Maybe this place truly is cursed."
I mean, if it is cursed, then we can uncurse it. We just have to keep trying. I mean, I would say we are in much better condition than when we started. Granted, that the material conditions around us aren't necessarily. I don't know if it's better or worse than when we came. It's all just seems like an equal amount of terrible.
And no one here seems to want to fix this issue.
I mean, I think it's too scary.
I guess it's different. Where we come from, people seem more willing to help, even in a giant city.
I have the feeling that people have been struggling for so long they feel like they don't have anything to offer other people. I don't know. I feel like everybody would end up with more if they just, shared what they had, but they're too afraid of being without.
Well, it is their loss. And lucky for them, it would weigh down my conscience too much to leave now without trying to find this Frost Maiden.
I mean, we're closer to there. So as long as we keep, making progress towards there, we'll be able to succeed. It'll just take more work. Guess for tonight, we have figured out the problem of Bryn Shandar. Granted, we will figure out the consequences of said resolution later. Um, and we can relax for a bit before we decide what to do next.
Yes. What do we do next?
I thought we were going to try to find whatever that phylactery is, but I don't really know.
And Rogar will just keep going with his the ceremony, the funeral rites.
Which means if we are working together, it should only take 2 hours and 20 minutes, guys.
So the procedure here in Icewind Dale is whenever a person dies, and they did this in Bryn Shandar, is because the snow has been on the ground for so long and it's frozen over so much, they can't really dig graves for folks. So they typically just like pile corpses together and burn them. That's typically the procedure.
Well, luckily, these rites only prevent them from becoming undead. It's just flavor that we're giving them nice little prayers and such. So we can go ahead with the normal, I don't want to say body disposal, but we can get advice from the people of the town who will know what to do with the bodies
I'm sure there's a whole
after
bring out
we
your dead
respect
truck
them.
that comes by at 6 o'clock, to handle all that.
No
So
wonder they're running out of people.
what's Virion up to while this is going on?
Walking back to the tavern, probably following Guardian that way.
So Virion and Guardian, as you enter the tavern, the noise level is a little more hushed than it was before the excitement from when everyone was responding to the bells. Everyone
I
seems...
just wave at Zach.
And Zach kind of waves back to you.
Virion's gonna rush over to where the bees are and just make sure that Shoelace didn't do anything crazy or lose their mind or panic during all the commotion.
And you see Shoelace in a corner of Virion chewing on a piece of honeycomb.
And just walk up to Shoelace and pet him and just let him know everything is gonna be okay. But
And
some more penguins had to die for Daddy.
as you see the honeycomb, it's a little mysterious how the dog managed to get the honeycomb without any bees. But he did.
Can I try and take it from Shoelace?
Sure.
I'll just kind of give it a look over and maybe look over at Zach and just kind of shout, "Hey Zach, did you give this dog the honeycomb?"
And his eyes widen. Oh, that damn dog. No, I didn't give him the honeycomb. Where did you get this? He better not have messed with my bees. We don't have many left.
Kind of look at Shoelace and ask him, "Where did you get this honeycomb, boy? How did you get this?" And then I'll inspect his mouth for bee stings.
And Shoelace's tail starts really wagging as you talk to him. He doesn't really seem to understand what you're saying, but just your tone gets him very excited. And as you're inspecting his mouth, you notice no bee stings, but definitely pieces of bees in his teeth.
Oh no. Shoelace, you got to stop eating the honeycomb. These bees are important. I don't know if I have several documentaries that I need you to catch up on, but bees are dying at an alarming rate, and it's a serious problem. If the bees go, we all go, okay? So you need to cut it out. But you're a good boy.
Shoelace gives you a lick, and it's stinky doggy breath in this case. Smells a little bit like honey.
It is refreshing.
Well, that's happening. I'm gonna go over to this table. Alright.
Orphet looks up. It sounded like a victorious battle, my friend.
It was a one-sided slaughter. It wasn't really fair for them, and I actually didn't like it.
And Jera looks up from her drink. Ugh.
Yes, I'm sure that's exactly how the guard captain felt.
And Two Mask slowly looks to you. Well, it seems as though I've kept my end of the bargain. It's time for you to keep yours.
Now, first there is another thing I had to do. And he just looks to Horfit and he gives him 20 gold pieces.
No, my friend, your gold is no good here.
I don't have anything else.
Two Mask looks up. Are you sure it's not good here?
But if you insist, I'll just take it back. Right. You're looking for a cave. Now, there is a couple of stipulations that you need to be first foretold. 1, there is an ogre and a verbeeg in the cave, along with the bear. They're friendly. The ogre, I believe his name was Friend.
Well, that should be easy to remember.
They're not hostile, they're just cold and trying to survive. So I would appreciate if you guys didn't kill them. You can tell them, though, that you're friends, and that you know Guardian and Rogar. Oh yes, I think the ogre really took a liking to Rogar. Yes. And then there's a little side cave that goes down to a larger opening with like a frozen lake and something else in it too. James, do I remember seeing what was in that frozen lake?
You did not. I think it was only Wargar.
Okay. That's where the bear was held up in. He's old and he's cranky, so again, take care. Try not to kill them. Like, I mean, really don't kill them.
Well, that could be the place. Thank you, I suppose. I'll go investigate it.
Hmm.
Do you have better directions, or I thought you were going to take me there yourself?
Yeah, I can take it there. You want to go now?
And he looks around. This is Two Mask, and he says, well, that's the whole reason I'm here.
Alright, well, follow me. Try to keep up.
Indeed.
Now, how long was that trip to there before our gym?
It wasn't too far. It's the forest north of Good Mead. It was probably a 30-minute trip.
Sweet, we get there in 15.
That's right.
Thank you, Elk Spirit.
Two Mask looks to Horfit, and Horfit says, that's not my quest. Do what you need to do.
Alright, meet me at the edge of town. I'll be there in like 3 minutes. Go.
Indeed.
Update Zach here. He'll just walk away as he's saying that right towards Zach.
And Zach puts down whatever he's doing as you approach Guardian. He says, thank you, my friend. I observed from out the window that looked like it could have gone much poorly for us.
Yep. That's why I want you and everyone else to get ready to move. If they try to send out anyone else. That cave system where the Verbeeg and Ogre are at. It's gonna be cramped, but at least it's one entrance.
He rubs the temple around his nose, and he's like, the problem is the forest has gotten a little more unfriendly. Fief hasn't returned, which isn't a good sign, but we've been trying to chop down trees north of town, and, well, the people that have been going to do that have not returned. So I don't know if it's a good idea for all of us to go into the forest.
The other option is the end of Good Mead. If they do try to push back and come down with a larger force and we're not here, because we're going to try and stop the Frost Maiden, have people retreat to other villages and other towns, start lives there.
Which town do you suggest?
He's just going to think for a moment, like, which one was the one that burnt down recently because of a dragon attack, that it wasn't mechanical?
Tourmaline was the one that was just straight destroyed. Lonelywood, you did manage to fight off the dragon. It did just a little bit of damage to the town. The two that were just also destroyed were Targos and Bremen.
I'm out of character. I'm just trying to remember which is the one town that we fucked over.
Oh, you're talking about East Haven. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You can try anywhere. Really, just don't go to East Haven.
We sent out a message to Dugan's Hole to the south, but received no reply, which was sort of strange. They are odd folk there, but they've always been welcoming, at least in their own way, but to hear nothing back from them is, well, a bit disturbing.
The captain apparently had your name as a sacrifice. So,
Oh, that's encouraging.
well, Shabalaba Ding Dong is now the sheriff of that. He just looks off for a second, try to remember what the name of it was. Like, Brim, whatever the hell it's called. Apparently he's the sheriff there, so.
Oh, you mean Shandar? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm never going to remember his name. You could also try going to Battlehammer Hold.
Well, I think
He's
Mr.
been-
Horford over there is very excited to make his way there. It would be a long journey for most of the people in the town. We don't have much in the way of provisions, of course. I don't know if I could ever bring myself to leave my bees.
Well, hopefully they don't try and push back while we're away. But if they do come back, those are the three options. Either fortify up in the cave, hide out there, scatter to the different towns, or Battlehammer Hold. Yeah. Or at least the journey there you'd have adventurers to help keep you safe.
Thank you, my friend, not only for helping us today, but also thinking about us in the future.
Yeah, I honestly came up here to get some funeral rites and trinkets for died. And now I got elected speaker of a town, and I'm honestly half tempted just to become the term de facto ruler of all the towns, just to get people to stop being shitters. And the only way I'm going to accomplish that is by killing the Frost Maiden and putting her head on a pike.
Well, you
And
got
then
my
going to
vote.
each... Good, and I'll go to each town and go like, look, I killed her. I'm now the speaker of this whole region. Stop being dipshits. He just shakes his head lightly. Everything will be done quickly and to the point. No more social dancing and taking your time trying to beat around the bush to try and explain something. He's just going to slowly wander off as he starts heading out.
And Virion, you notice Guardian as he walks away, talking loudly to himself.
Can't be clear about anything. You have to do like 50 different things to get one answer for a question you had. There would only be like 5 seconds of them explaining, but no, you have to go and clean this up. You have to go fix up this mess over here. No. You need to do this delicately. Break all their heads.
Virion is gonna see Guardian taking off, talking to himself, and give Shoelace a couple more pats, take the honeycomb with him, and follow Guardian.
So Virion and Guardian, as you're leaving the meat hall, you notice across the way the temple that Laja and Rogar are directing villagers that are, disposing of the bodies in whatever way they do that here. It's getting probably closer to early afternoon in the day.
The guy just looks over to Laja. How are the two stiffs?
There are 3 of them. Yep.
Well, what do you expect I can't count?
Well, thanks to these folks here, we will finish up with these funerals probably shortly.
Alright, I'm gonna be gone for about an hour. Don't do anything I wouldn't. Or would.
Are you going somewhere in particular? Do you need company there?
Nah, I got this kitty cat here with me.
Okay, well, be safe, I guess.
Does Two Mask react at all to that?
He just kind of rolls his eyes at you.
Friends, before you go, and Rorgar will touch Guardian and give him 11 points of healing with lay on hands.
Thank you.
And he'll actually do the same to Virion as well. I don't know how much you need. 11 as well, I think.
I'm down 11. Yep.
So same thing.
Now, Guardian, you know Zach did say that people are disappearing when they enter the forest. You still want to go off by yourself?
I may disappear, but I'll try not to. I'll be back soon.
Okay.
That's how Guardian's gonna leave that.
Well, entering the evil dark forest the night of the Frostbane by yourself, those all sound like really terrible ideas, but sure, you could do that.
It has just occurred to me that tonight is the night of the Frost Maiden. So maybe you would like to delay until tomorrow?
It's the afternoon, so an hour or two. I should be back before she even shows up.
Are you sure this isn't something that can't wait until tomorrow?
Well, we have the whole day still. Right, Jam? This is like the afternoon.
It's early afternoon, so it's probably like 3 or 4 o'clock.
Well,
And she shows up, around what time does she show up at, usually?
I think I said before, it's like right at midnight.
Tell you what, if we're there longer than a couple of hours, we'll hunker down in the cave with a friend and... Yeah.
that's exactly what I was about to say. So, at least definitely do that if you happen to be there for a while.
Just give you a thumbs up. It's not like I'm cursed or anything. He just wiggles his arm around with a chain on it.
Well, don't come back with any more curses.
And Tumas says, "Don't worry, if something terrible jumps out at us, I'll be sure to run away as quickly as possible."
Guy just looks at him for a moment. He's like, coward.
He shrugs, "Well, what do you want?"
At least die in an entertaining way. So I plan on going. He's just gonna start walking out there.
Yes, friend, be careful. It was in the woods around here that a ghostly creature took years off my life, literally. So be careful.
Tumas looks back and he says, "Oh, this idea is just getting better and better."
Yeah, you'll be fine. 15 minutes. Just move
It takes
quickly.
30 minutes to get there.
All right, so as Guardian and Tumas walk away, what are the rest of you going to be up to?
I think Rogar will, after we finished with the ceremony and the funeral rites and stuff, Rogar is just going to attempt to help people hunker down for the night. With whatever he can, like cutting wood, building fires if possible. Just helping out around town.
Yeah, Virion's probably gonna head back to the tavern and just keep an eye on Shoelace.
Zach would have offered up space in the meat hall for all of you to stay the night. I think he did that before, but he's renewing the offer because there's really no tavern here at Good Mead. So if you want accommodations, that's the best that he's got. But he does say again that if you want to stay in the town of Good Mead, remember their sacrifice is heat, so that you cannot burn a fire or anything that would, that would make heat and violate the sacrifice. So that's something they all have to do.
All right, he'll start knitting blankets.
That's awesome. What's that?
No,
that fast. I knit. It doesn't go that fast. I'm sorry.
I love that. I'm like, it's just gonna be cold. And Rogar's like, no, I'm gonna knit. That's what I'm gonna start doing right now. I'm knitting.
You're gonna get like 2 rows done.
yeah, no skill in this. He's not particularly dexterous. He probably hurts himself more with the needles than anything.
And I imagine Rogar's probably like angry knitting because he's very angry right now.
Yeah,
He keeps taking knots.
What about you, Laja? What are you up to?
I'll go to the inn and try to help people prepare, see if we can't, insulate the bees a little bit.
So, Guardian, you and Two Masks are making your way through the forest, and you made your way pretty close to where you believe the Forbid Cave entrance is. And geographically, what it is like as you go north in Goodmead, there's a forest, and then as you continue going north, it starts to get kind of hilly and rocky, and that's where the entrance to the cave was. And if you kept going north, you'd actually get to Bryn Shandar, which is at the top of a tall hill. But you've made your way through the forest, and it's actually very quiet. You remember that Fief said that all of the game had been gone from the forest, even like the small game, like birds and squirrels, like totally, completely dark and quiet in the forest. And that's what you see as you walk in. And Two Masks is just keeping a distance away from you. And you guys eventually get to a clearing that leads directly to the entrance of the cave. And in fact, you can see off in the distance, many feet away, the entrance to the cave. But there's a large tree in the center of this clearing that you don't remember seeing before. But this tree is in, it looks like a bad way. The trees around it are covered in snow, but they have shades of green. Like, if it warmed up or if you kicked the snow away, you could probably see green parts of this tree. But this tree looks like it's dead. The branches are very sharp. It has a very old, rotten look. You don't remember seeing it before the last time you came this way. Now, it was almost 2 months ago, so it's been a while.
Gary just looks at it for a moment. Looks back at Two Mask. So, can you talk to trees?
Usually when I have to go to the bathroom. This forest seems very odd.
Yep.
There's something wrong here.
Besides me, or?
No, I can't quite put a paw on it. But I think...
Well, I don't think this thing was here last time we came through.
Well, it's just a tree, right?
Let's skirt around.
You look part tree.
Yes, I got a bunch of roots and bones.
Well, why don't you go first?
Yeah. I can just hear Laja now just going, "Oh, Guardian, you brave fool. Fought some weird-looking tree, most likely. You should have fell back and came and got us." Stops for a second as he's getting parallel with it and looks at it.
And as you look at it, the tree begins to move towards you. and you don't exactly see a face or clear arms or anything, but you can tell like the top half of it, that's just a series of branches that kind of go off in a random order, random direction. They don't really form solid branches, that branch out in the different directions. They seem to form almost like a crown on the top of this thing. It turns slowly towards you.
Hello.
It creaks as it begins to turn even slower. And one part that was in the ground pulls up, and you see like a bunch of thorny pieces of wood that were stuck in the snow that pulled free. And it takes one step closer to you.
Step back.
And then you hear it's like a voice, but you can't really tell where it's coming from in this thing. And it says, "I call for blood."
I don't have any.
I think you're going to have to convince it of that. Please roll initiative.
Alright, what's 19?
You go first. That's a 2. The way I'm going to do 2 mask here is on one thing you can decide whatever it is. He will give you advantage. Basically,
Where's the cave entrance?
The cave entrance is to the north.
I'm just gonna look at him and like, run north to the cave. Get inside now. And that's what I'm going to do too. I'm just gonna burn 40 movement. Get north, but not get within melee range of this thing. I'm assuming, what do you call it? Difficult terrain inside the forest
Yeah,
here?
it'll be difficult terrain if you go through the trees, yeah.
I can get up to here with 40. Then I'm gonna double move, so just action to move.
Okay.
6, 8. I can get up there. I'm just beeline for that cave entrance.
And as you make it to the cave entrance, stepping out of the cave is Doug. Remember Doug, the tall Verbeeg?
Yep.
He looks a little thinner than usual, but he's wearing more furs, or at least a different set of furs than you saw him before, and he's carrying a spear. And he walks out and he says, hello?
Hey, Doug, get inside.
Why we go inside?
That thing. He's gonna point to the tree.
Oh, is that tree? That ugly tree?
No, shh. He wants blood.
Blood no taste good. And he looks
Looking
back.
at Two Mask.
He looks back to Two Mask. Is that your kitty cat?
Yep. He's coming in too.
Tree's gonna get your kitty cat.
Better not. Yeah, I'm just waiting to see what Two Mask does.
Since we're still in combat, I've got to decide what to do with Two Mask here. So let's see. I'm just gonna roll a d10. Let's say 6 to 10, the tree is going to catch him. 1 to 5, he gets away. That means the tree catches him. So Two Mask begins to race around the tree. I think he sees Doug, gets a little distracted, and the tree very quickly snatches up Two Mask in one of its branches. So it's actually holding him in the air at this point.
Nah, shit. Is it my turn now?
Yeah, we'll take it back to your turn.
I'm just gonna close the gap. Gonna rage. What was up here? 1, 2. Yeah, okay, I can go here. Rage. And I'm going to recklessly attack the tree with the chain.
Yeah, you have reach with the chain. That's 10 feet away.
Yeah. That's advantage is enabled. Rage is enabled. Yeah. 19?
A 19 will hit.
Yay! Takes 13, 15. Whoever that's fired. And then second attack, chain. 26.
26 will hit.
And then a grapple, or how's it working? Sorry. It should, yeah, just an athletics check, right?
Yeah, you do an opposed strength athletics check. He got a 23.
Ooh. Okay, well, got me that time.
So if
I
he
think
thinks
me and him,
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think me and him both have the same modifier.
So
Oh no, he's a 2 higher. Damn.
Oh, you know what? You can't grapple him anyway because he's a huge creature.
Right?
Oops.
He is.
But what happens when you strike him with the chain? There's a few things first. As you strike him, and the wood, it looks like it's dried old wood that this thing's made out of. It catches fire and he kind of recoils back. But as you strike him, like thorns or shards of wood break off and they actually hit you. And you take, because you did 2 attacks, 7 piercing for each attack, 14 total piercing damage.
Ooh, 7. Did he let go of 2 Mask though?
No, he's still holding him.
Well, can he try and break away?
Oh, let's do, actually, I don't think I even have stats for 2 Mask. Why don't you do a d20 check for me, please? Yeah, we'll just play it like a grapple. Why don't you do a d20 roll, and then I'll just do a strength roll, and we'll see who rolls higher.
Do I have any modifier?
Let's see. If he's a cat, he's a druid. Let's say 16. Let's say +2. Unfortunately, the tree continues to hold 2 Masks as he squirms away, but one of the other large branches of the tree swings at you, Guardian. It's like you were recklessly attacking, right? So that's a 16 and a 24.
Yeah. 16 and 24 will hit.
Okay, so let's see. That's a total of, well, you're going to half it, so I'll just go ahead and half it for you. That's 16 bludgeoning damage and 4 cold damage. Your speed is also reduced to 0 feet, so you can't move, as the strikes like kind of push you into the snow as it hits you.
Okay.
It takes you to your turn.
I will attempt to a double hit again, reckless.
Uh, 25 will hit.
Ooh. That's some damage there.
That's 20 damage.
Oh, yes. Oh, wait, do I have anything? No, that's next level. Okay. Wow, the extra D8, damn.
26?
Yep.
Significant strikes against this thing as more parts of it begin to catch on fire. Why don't you do another check for 2 Mask for me? Or a +2. So I got a 9. Oh. You get a 6? Yeah.
Oh, 2 Mask.
2 Mask is just not able to get free.
What type of cat is he?
Behind you, you hear Doug saying, "Oh, I go get fire. We burn some tree."
Okay, Doug.
But again, the tree takes a swipe at you with one of its branches.
No shit.
Oh, I forgot. You hit it twice, so that means you take 14 piercing again from the shards and the thorns that come off of it.
If only I dared have a... If I had that extra 30 health, I'd still be prime.
Well, yeah, that's obvious. Oops, I hit the wrong button. 24 and a 13, because you were still recklessing, right?
Yeah, so it'd be 24 to 22, actually.
Oh, yep, 24, 22. So again,
Yep.
I'll just half it for you. That's 16 bludgeoning and 4 cold. And your speed is again reduced to 0. Okay, it's your turn.
Well, I can't run, so yeah, reckless reckless chain.
A 22 hits.
What is with these damage rolls? Why?
25,
Yeah.
yep, will hit.
$21 physical and 4 fire.
Again, you notice the fire as this thing begins to smolder as your chain strikes it. But because of the 2 hits, you do again take 14 piercing damage.
I am just gonna say out to Two Mask, like, aren't you supposed to be like friendly with trees?
Yeah, but this one's really mad. I want you to do another check with 2 masks for me, please. Oh, God. I rolled an 8. Come on.
Okay. Oh my god. Does Two Mask have inspiration?
Do you see the bonus I have of a +6 and I rolled an 8? Come on.
To be fair, 2 is really low. Does he not have training in athletics?
He's a druid. I will let 2 of your party members do have inspiration. They can
Yeah,
give you.
he can use mine.
Okay. Please don't roll a 1, Two Mask.
There you
thank
go.
God.
2 mask manages to break free from one of the smoldering limbs of the evil tree thing, and he drops to the ground, lands on his feet, ready to run.
Go.
And with a wow, he runs to the cave, leaving just you and the forest lord alone.
I'm just gonna look to the first light. Look, you've hit me a bunch of times. I'm not bleeding. I don't have blood.
Are you trying to convince him of something or what?
Well, he said he wants blood. I have none, so he should leave me alone.
I got it. Why don't you give me a persuasion check?
Do I have advantage because I'm part tree?
No. With a 1, I don't think he's gonna pay attention to you.
Oh, shit. Okay, that's fair.
So he takes 2 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
A 12? Oh, he has advantage. 17 and a 29.
Yep, both will hit.
Again, 16 bludgeoning and 4 cold.
And I can't move.
And you can't move.
I don't know what to do because I'm gonna go down. Is Doug still out here?
Let's say Doug arrives at this point and he's carrying a torch, like a large torch, and he kind of runs up to you and he says, can I burn tree?
Burn tree and pull me out. Drag me back into the cave.
Okay, Doug save you. And Doug runs up to the tree and takes a swipe. And I think I actually have stats for Doug, which is great. A 9 and a 14, which do absolutely nothing. But the tree turns towards Doug. A 19 and a 28 will hit. And, oh.
What? Why didn't Doug grab me though, like I said to?
He tried to set the tree on fire and he missed. He missed. How do you miss a tree? I don't know, but he did. The tree lands 2 heavy blows on Doug, and Doug falls to the ground.
Please tell me he's not dead.
But you are now able to move, Guardian. So you can
I'm
run
grabbing
and leave
Doug.
You can leave him.
No. I'm grabbing Doug. Can't leave my boy Doug behind. I'm grabbing Doug. I'm now running with him.
I will say if you grab Doug, then you can't do a disengage. You can move, but you'll take an attack of opportunity.
Okay, I'm gonna grab Doug. Can I throw him towards Two Mask?
See, the thing is, Doug is one size larger than you, so you could technically grapple Doug. So I would say you can actually throw Doug, but I'm gonna make it a strength check. But carrying Doug versus throwing Doug isn't gonna get you any differently. Like you're still gonna have to, if you want to move, you'll get an attack of opportunity. Basically, if you try to do anything with him, that's gonna be your action.
Wait a second. Doug's unconscious, right?
Yep.
Could I put chain around him as I disengage?
Could you put the chain around him as you disengage? You could put the chain around him, but then you can't disengage.
Oh, fuck it. I'm not gonna let Doug die. I'm gonna grab him, and I'm gonna run with him.
And as you do, the Forest Lord tries to stomp on you. Now he could miss.
He doesn't. He doesn't have advantage because I haven't attacked.
Oh god.
Bye, guys.
Well, so double damage is 32 bludgeoning damage and 8 cold. I'll give you a choice here because you are fighting by yourself. This can go to Doug instead of you, but it will kill Doug.
No, I'm not gonna do that. That's not. What's his name? What's my barbarian's name?
All right. So what we're gonna do is we're actually going to fade to black. So back in Good Mead, as you all are, getting people ready for the night, hours start to go by, and Guardian has not returned. And it's getting to the point to where the sun is set, because it sets very early, and it's unclear when midnight will come because with the sun down, it's hard to gauge time. But it's now dark, and Guardian still has not returned, and neither has Two Mask.
In that time, can we say we've taken a short rest?
Sure. Yeah, I think you could do that.
Well, friends, I thought that Guardian said he would be back by now.
Should we maybe head out and go see if we can find him?
I think he definitely ran into trouble, so it's a good idea for us to go out. We might not be able to make it there and back, but we can certainly make it there and stay in the cave, if anything.
All right.
So I'll pack up all my stuff, get my backpack on. Let's go.
I think I'm sure he's fine, and we're just being worried, but maybe we should check it out.
The thing is, Guardian is not, he doesn't have good judgment all the time. And granted, we could be going and there could be nothing happening, or we could be going and there could be very bad things happening. You never know, and I want to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, let's go. The worst thing that happens is we interrupt him having a great time with this cat person, and we join in on the fun, I guess.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that we, got replaced as friends or something. And Laja's going to smile at Rogar, trying to make a joke to lighten the mood.
Oh, I don't think he considers me a friend, really. Oh, you're kidding. Ah, I see.
I'm just laughing at Guardian. Already forgot your names.
I'm safe. I know that much.
Yeah, Elijah's safe.
As you begin to head out towards the forest, Varian, can you give me a survival check, please?
Sure can.
I think I should say you have advantage because of you're in your favored terrain.
Perfect.
I'm assuming you took your Moonblade back too when I made you drop it.
Yeah, I would have picked that up.
No, Rorgar picked it up and it's his now.
Dang.
That's
Why don't I pick it up? Then I'll have 3 weapons I can use, guys.
Okay, yeah, it's yours.
go for it.
Gotta catch them all.
So Varian, you could roll another survival check, and we'll take whatever's
Oh,
higher.
right. Sorry.
Oh, a 24.
This is what you built your character for.
All survival, all the time.
Varian, so as you begin to see, you follow the tracks going out of town. It's very clear Guardian's tracks because Guardian, even though he walks very fast, tends to walk very heavy. And you can see his footprints, and then also Two Masks. And Two Masks actually seems to very lightly walk on the snow, leaving almost no footprints at all. But as you're walking north out of town, something really catches your attention as you're heading north. You have a very clear trail leading to where you think they are, but you notice for the first time some of the snow is melted. And you actually see some grass or some dirt. And that's very unusual because it's been a pretty steady snowfall for the 2 months that you've been here. And now that you are noticing, there is no more snowfall. There's no snow falling on the ground currently. And it looks like things are starting to melt. You know, it's like water dripping off some of the trees.
It almost seems like there's a season change happening. Does it feel like cold, like still as cold too?
It feels a bit warmer.
Okay. Maybe the Frost Maiden's taking a season off or something.
But as you continue to press northward, you have a very clear picture of where they went. They didn't try to cover their tracks at all, the two of them.
Okay. I'll just keep leading the way until we spot anything out of the ordinary.
And the three of you eventually make your way to the clearing, which was where the battle just happened. And you notice there are clear signs of a struggle. The snow has been very much disturbed. There are thorns and pieces of branches and like pieces of wood all around the clearing. There's also the smell of a burning fire. And as you look ahead, you see the entrance to the cave. You see Doug sitting there next to Two Mask, and on the ground is Guardian.
Rorgar will move up. This is confusing. What has happened here?
Your friend fight big tree. Don't know why tree's so mad, but your friend fight tree.
Rorgar will go over to Guardian and put a hand on him and give him 1 hit point of lay on hands healing.
And Guardian, as you awaken, what is the brush with death? Has it given you any clarity or insight?
Doug, you heavy piece of shit.
Doug no shit out here. Doug shit over in corner of cave.
I think I have some broken bones.
Two Mask, is this through some sort of tree attacked?
Yeah, some sort of evil tree spirit decided that it wanted to crush us. Fortunately, your friend was able to get me free of it. And your friend here, Doug, I guess, managed to set the tree on fire, and it ran off and probably burned somewhere.
Looking back, can we see like a trail of melted snow where the tree would have ran away?
It's very dark, so it's hard to see it all, but you do see how a lot of the snow here in this clearing is melted.
Guards is gonna look at everyone and is like, "Hi."
So, Guardian, I'm gonna say this in the nicest, kindest way possible. Never, ever, ever are you going to go off on your own again.
To be
Can we
fair,
just all make this agreement all together?
I wasn't alone. I was with Two Mask.
Yes, Two Mask was there, and I'm sure Two Mask helped fight this creature.
Yeah, I guess I did. Yeah.
Yeah, you sure did. Oh.
I guess we can mean within the members of our party, we can have a buddy system. Whether or not
Yep.
we accompany any other people, just to make sure that whoever we go with has extra protection.
Um,
And we
I
also
thought,
don't die.
I thought, what's his name, Penguin Slayer was with me. Just being, his usual, you can't see me because I'm that good with the trees bullshit.
You did say not to come with you.
Hmm. Well, you know what? I didn't expect to be fought by a tree.
Friends, I think we should make our way into the cave.
Yeah.
The Frost Maiden may be appearing soon, and I'm not really excited to see her.
Yeah, get inside. Hey, Doug, how's the bear been?
We leave Bear alone. Bear is grumpy.
Mm-hmm.
And
And how's friend?
Doug kind of looks up and he hears what you just said, but he doesn't really answer. He's looking up at the sky.
How's friend doing?
Sky look funny. You see Sky?
Okay, let's go in now. He starts shoving
going.
in. He's shoving Doug and Two Mask in.
Virian, come on, follow us.
Into the cave.
Where the hell's there a pissed off tree out here? Nope. Got some goats.
So it's been a
Goat
while.
ball.
It's been a while since you all made your way from this cave, but not much has changed. So Doug has, it seems, taken down some of his flock quite a bit because he's been here without food. But the barrels of good mead or the mead that he might have stolen were gone. And it seems he's just mostly kept his word and stayed in his cave.
Doug, you were a good person.
Sky weird. You notice Sky? No lights in Sky.
Yeah, sky is very weird. Let's just stay in here until the sky's better, okay, Doug?
Okay.
And where's friend?
Friend in back room. Friend taking nap.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go see the bear now.
Friend got shot in the head. Talking to guards to north. He taking a nap.
Elijah, can you go check on friend?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Come here, cat. Thought you're supposed to be nimble.
So Elijah, as you make your way around to the storeroom where Friend was before, this is where Friend usually hangs out. This is like his room in the cave. You come across the body of a partially decomposing ogre. It's probably because it's been so cold, he's been decomposing slower, but he does have an arrow in his head. So what Doug said is correct in that Friend was probably shot, made his way back here, and probably died.
Okay, out of character, I'm gonna burn Bryn Shandar to the damn ground along with the goddamn sheriff. I'm gonna make sure he dies. Back in character.
You know,
Hey,
we need a goal.
yeah, I bet we got the person that is responsible.
No, they're all responsible.
When you did kill the captain, cut off her head, and she's a zombie now, so she's kind of got it bad too.
Well, I guess after I see this, I will come back out. Hopefully, is everybody gone to the back, or is somebody still out here that I can talk to before I talk to Doug?
I would have gone with Two Mask to the bear cave.
Yeah, Rorgar too, because he knows where the statue is.
Virion will probably follow Laja on this one because I want to see the arrow in the head.
In which case, then you will see the exact same scene that I do.
Oh, good.
You know, Virion, why don't you give me a survival check?
Always a good sign.
Oh, wow. Crushed it with a 23. Okay. The arrow that you see that's sticking out of Friend's head is definitely an arrow that came from Bryn Shandar. You remember the guards when they were helping you take down the dragon were using arrows just like this.
All right. So would recognize that. Um, this might be the doing from the ballistas then. Friend,
Well, don't ballistas use bolts? This looks like an arrow. Maybe it was some archer in that group.
friend, where were you when this hit you?
And Friend remains silent as he is dead.
Oh, he's dead. Oh, sorry, I
he's
totally missed that.
he's dead and decomposing.
Oh, I missed that completely. Sorry.
No, I'm gonna say Virion didn't even know. I think that would be funnier.
Virion's still trying to talk to the dead body.
Uh, Virion, you may have missed one small detail here. I think we are going to have to tell Doug that
Oh
he
no.
no longer has a friend in Friend.
Doug is not going to take this well.
No, I don't know what to do.
Maybe we can weekend at Bernie's him somehow.
No, because we're gonna have to leave eventually. This seems like a bad idea. Also, I don't know who Bernie is.
It's an old bard song. Oh god.
We just we need to figure out what to say. I mean, I don't think he'll get upset, but he won't get like mad at us. I don't think he's just gonna I don't know. People deal with grief differently.
I feel like Doug's been around death at some point. He might take it better than expected. But I do think we need to
Yeah.
break it to him as a child.
But I mean, when it's the only person you live with, now you're all alone with your goats and the bear you don't talk to.
The bear might become his friend.
I don't know.
Maybe
I,
Doug can get introduced into society somehow. He's a resourceful goat farmer.
I guess the other question is I don't even want to think of the other question. Oh,
Well, can we bring friend back to life? Is that on the table at all?
This happened more than a minute ago. So, knowing what I know, I honestly don't think that's something I can do.
Man. Should I test the waters and just ask him what he would do if someone close to him died?
I mean, you can. Honestly, I don't know if he will. I feel like that might work. Whereas with a lot of other people, they might piece it together before you get to the part where you're talking about it. I think he'll leave it at a hypothetical. So maybe that's where we start.
I think let's test the waters and see how he takes it.
Okay.
We'll walk back over to the fire. Hey, Doug. How are things?
And Doug, you can see he's hung over the fire a piece of meat, which is sort of what he was doing when you first came to the cave. You don't really know where the meat came from, but he's got a piece of meat and he says, "You hungry? Doug, make food."
Yeah, I'd love to share a meal with you, Doug, and Virion will take whatever he's offering.
It's like before, mystery meat. You have no idea if it's goat, sheep, or even human.
I'll hold on to it, but I won't bite into it. And Virion will just kind of ask him, "So, Doug, you've had like friends and family before, right?"
Doug used to have tribe, used to have family. They all gone now.
What happened when they, went gone?
Well, what happened is they smell real bad, they puff up, and then explode.
Ew. And did that ever make you sad or angry or anything like that?
Yes, Doug real sad.
But you're doing okay now, right?
Oh, Doug is safe in cave, has friend, stays away from bear.
And let's just say if that ever happened to friend or bear even, would you be okay with that, Doug?
What you mean?
Well, if, let's say bear or friend got all smelly and then bloated and then exploded, would you, you know, how would you feel about that?
And he just kind of looks off in the distance for a minute and he says, if you got smelly and exploded, Doug would find out who hurt you, and Doug would eat them."
I'm gonna whisper to Furion, I don't think that's the right way to say that.
But I think Doug might want to go and hurt the people who did some bad things, which might be okay.
Yeah, but then Bryn Shandar is gonna kill him too.
We might be able to work out a trade.
And Laja is giving Furion a very disapproving look. Like maybe the first one of this campaign. Most of the time it's like sort of joke disappointment. Now it's like, no, don't do it.
Virion will actually pick up on this social cue for maybe the first time of this campaign and bite his tongue about offering a murder trade.
While this discussion is going on, let's maybe cut to the cave with the others.
I take it 10 minutes has passed. I'm sad.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure our scene took more than 10 minutes. Absolutely.
yeah, 10 minutes have definitely passed.
I think, guys, as Guardian is doing his ritual, Rogar is explaining, yes, there's this giant bear, and then further on in this cave, there is a statue depicting Sylvanas, but we're going to want to wait for Guardian here because that bear looks very dangerous.
But Two Mask walks in the cave, and as you all enter the cave, you notice it's very different than before, especially you, Rogar. Whereas before, the little stream that led to a frozen pond, it's now thawed out. It's actually water. And there's a small waterfall that's feeding into it. And you can see from the top of the cave, there are some openings, which before there was no light coming through them because it was so dark. But now there's actually little rays of light, and it's hard to tell, exactly what's producing this light, but you see it. The bear is in the corner, kind of circled up, but he's looking at all of you. But Two Masks walks very confidently into the cave, and he looks down into the water at the statue, which is now very clear. And he says, yes, I think this is the place. This is where I'm supposed to be.
All right. Well, Yogabor.
Yogabor says, I'm very tired. Why are you here?
Apparently, this one here had dreamed of this place. Something summoned him. So I brought him here to fulfill his personal quest. And I also wanted to see how you were doing.
And the bear starts to say something to you, but he looks at Two Mask, and then he stands up and kind of trots over to him, and he says, and you hear this in your mind, Guardian, he says, yes, this one is right. Yes.
Looks towards Two Masks. He says you are right. Yes.
Two Mask reaches out a hand and slowly pets Yogabor. And he says, thank you for showing me this place. I think this is exactly what I've been looking for.
Well, if you don't need us anymore, I'm gonna go talk to Doug.
And he holds his head up and he takes a deep breath and he says, wait just a moment before you leave. Do you smell it? The wind of change.
I don't breathe.
Can I make an insight check to see if I smell the wind of change?
Sure. Oh, God.
It's just intestinal gas leaking out.
23.
Oh, God.
Rogar now, there's a lot of evidence if you want to talk about change in this cave, and that, the water isn't frozen anymore. Water is actually flowing. And the biggest thing is the beam of light that has come to the top of the cave. The thing that has been pretty much consistent through Icewind Dale since you came here 2 months ago is just things are dark all the time, even when the sun is up. So that is very different. But now that he mentioned it, you start to think, and your scales for the first time feel a little warm. Like you've always felt a little more comfortable here in Icewind Dale because it's so cold, but you actually feel that it's warmer than you remember.
Rogar will get as close to the statue as he can without going into the water. And he'll take a knee and he'll silently start saying a prayer to Sylvanas, saying, well, I said I would try to help you, and I hope this is a step in the right direction.
And you all in the cave feel a sense of peace. And in fact, that goes along with this peace is, Guardian, you feel the effects of a greater restoration spell, which takes away your hit point penalty that you had before. So now your total can be up to 120 as it should be.
Yay!
Rogar's still 30 years older, though.
I'll leave that to you, Brad. What do you think?
Maybe he gets a little bit back.
Maybe also that goes along with that is Rogar gets a little bit of his hope back. Like, he's been very downtrodden by everything that's been going on in the Dale. He feels a little bit like maybe things can be okay.
Neat.
Where we'll cut it to for the night is we'll pick up next time here in the cave, of course, if you all want. But the Night of the Frost Maiden comes and goes. And what's different this time is the Frost Maiden actually does not burn through the sky. And in fact, no one sees the Frost Maiden that night. And the next morning, as you all leave the cave, what you notice is the sun. For the first time in 2 months, you actually see the sun rising. There are no clouds in the sky. It's very clear. The snow is melting, and it's actually pretty warm. For the first time, you can take your furs off. And in fact, throughout Icewind Dale, it's the only thing anyone talks about, that the Frost Maiden didn't show up, and in fact, the Frost Maiden is gone.